are we looking at?
Yeah, so we are looking at FITE paperwork. This is the new professional version of FITE Health Insurance. As you can see, FITE Health Insurance has been covered in quite a lot of different places. If you're interested in learning more, you can check out one of these fine services. But instead, we're going to go straight ahead and go to the dashboard.
We're going to go check out how the appeals work. Now, we already have a video up. Why are we doing this video?
Yeah, so we're doing another video because we've made it faster and better. And we're going to make it even better and faster probably in the next 3 weeks. But we did want to show people that the flow is a little bit faster so you can see how it works.
Few changes since this was last posted.
So we're going to go ahead.
So what are we doing right now? We're starting an appeal process, right?
Yeah. And the email address is optional, right? So we can give the patient's email address if we want to share it with the patient, but we totally don't have to.
And what does it mean when it says allow patient to access all appeal details?
Yeah, so this means like if we do give an email address, do we want the patient to be able to see the appeal? And this is very optional, right? Sometimes it's really nice to keep the patient in the loop. Other times the patient would rather not know about all the administration stuff going on in the background. And so it's very much up to you, your practice, and how you want to run things. Here we've got the healthcare provider set to me.
So you could select other healthcare providers in that other section.
Totally, right. So back here we could have different providers. If you had, say, a small office or even a large office, you can just choose which provider you're working for.
Great.
And here we're going to say that we have a denial letter. This just means that we've got a notification. If we don't have the notification, they've just told us verbally, we would say no, and then we would just provide some details. So here we're going to go ahead and we're going to upload this pre-populated sample. You see what happens here is we automatically take this and we convert the denial into its text. There can, of course, be mistakes. This uses something called optical character recognition. If it's pictures, if it's a PDF with text inside of it, it's easier for us, and it happens automatically in either situations. So then we'll just go ahead and press next. And now what's happening is we're starting to process the letter. And this step can be a little slow. We've worked a lot at making it faster recently. And as you see, it's extracted. The insurance company was United Healthcare.
That was 7 seconds.
It's prep. Wow, that was fast.
That was good.
I'm really stoked. But you see, it didn't manage to extract the diagnosis or fax number. And in fact, it's totally reasonable because neither of those were present in this denial. The fax number extraction is hit or miss. We're working on making that better. But this is what we've got. Yeah, looks pretty fine to me. Okay, we can optionally provide health history here. Completely optional. We're going to skip it to show you how good an appeal we can generate even without the patient health history. We're going to say like, yeah, I don't remember if I've got a network contract here. Similarly, I know I don't have a single case agreement, so we're just going to say no. This part also used to take a while, but we sped it up substantially. And what happens here is we generate some questions based on the kind of denial. These questions are all optional, but if you can answer them, it can help generate better appeals. So we're going to say yes and yes. Now here we can add some attachments. If you've got some studies that you like including, you could attach them here. Completely optional. You can skip this step if you don't want to. And here we're going to say like, yeah, we want to submit this ourselves, but we could also send it over to the patient to finish, right? For example, the questions on the last screen I knew the answers to, but we might have questions about like the patient's diet or things like that that would be more likely for the patient to know. And in that case, we might want to send it to the patient. And in some health plans, it's actually important for the patient to be the one to submit the appeal. Depends from plan to plan. Talk to your billing specialist. They will probably be very sad, but that is okay. We're going to make the world suck less for them too. And also, if we were working with another healthcare professional, coordinating care with them, we could send that to them as well as an option here.
Nice.
But here we've only got one provider because it's just me. We're just going to go ahead and do it. This step also can take a little bit. We haven't managed to speed this one up as much as I would like. And so this is the part where we're sort of synthesizing the data that we've collected in all of the previous steps, and we're going to turn it into an appeal. This is really exciting. This is sort of like the magic. It can take a few minutes, though, especially for really complex denials, or even just really long denials that aren't especially complex. If they're super long, the processing can take a while. But it's going to take some time, and it's probably going to generate about 3 appeals. And here we see it generated 3 appeals for us. It's fantastic, and we can choose between them. And we can also edit them, right? So, for example, we might say, this isn't relevant here. We're going to drop that. Or we might say like, yeah, this one looks better. This is the one that I want to choose, whatever it is. And then we're going to go ahead. We're going to press next.
So you can press next by the arrow, or you can press save.
Yep, they both do the same thing.
And I saw there's a fax button, so you could also just go directly into faxing.
There is, although in this case, because we don't know the fax number,
that's fair.
It's probably not going to work. But that's okay. And we can go ahead and we can export it as a PDF, and we can copy and paste this into another thing if we want to. We can do whatever it is we need to do to submit it. And we can also just like copy and paste the text if that's easier. PDF is optional.
And then on that previous page,
Mhm.
so you've got the ability to edit, you've got the ability to go back into the appeal flow if you need to make any
Yeah.
additional changes. And outside of that, you also have the ability to look at the list of appeals that you have, correct?
Yeah, yeah, and so that's actually super important. One of the things that talking to healthcare professionals was really, really clear is that they have so many denials that they have to deal with. And so we've got this listing here, and we can actually go ahead and we can filter for just like, hey, which appeals haven't I finished? Like these are all listed as pending because we haven't submitted them because they're all test appeals, and we're not going to submit our test appeals.
You can easily go back into any of those and
Yeah.
edit those.
We can just go ahead and grab this one. Here, it doesn't have anyone present because this was just a test which I was doing. But we could go back and we could go ahead and we could complete this and we can upload and fill in whatever missing information is there.
That's great.
Yeah.